Hi guys, Penny Rose Journals, how you doing? Okay, we are here with my paper bag bases. As you can see, there is a little bundle of these. There is also under these a bag full. Now, in the end, I do count these and there is 47. So, yeah, I'm making a lot of these today. In the end, each of these gets cut into 3 pieces to make a little album. And each of my little albums is made up of 3 pages. So that means in the end of the day, I am going to make 47 little books today. Now, I will not show you me making 47 little books. I will show you me making portions of, portions of me making them. So we will cut some. I'm not going to show you 47 cuts. Not going to happen. Then we will glue some, and yeah, the different types of ones that I glue up, and then we will staple some, and then you will see them all. But yeah, I'm not going to make you sit through 47 tiny booklets. So these are the little paper bag base albums that I make, and I usually use little pictures of say houses, or I make sewing themed ones, stitch buttons into them. I make little albums of grumpy old men. You just decorate them in any way that you see fit. You can paint them, you can collage on them, you can scribble on them, you can do whatever you like with them. It's just a way to use up paper bag bases and something a bit extra to pop into a journal at the end of the day. So anyway, let's get to cutting a few of these, and you can see how I cut them up, and then we will move on to the next step. As I've mentioned already, I cut them into 3, and you can see me here cutting them into 3. I cut them at the edges of where the folds are, and basically the middle piece is just a single thickness, but the 2 outside pieces are folded papers. So that's how I cut them up. Now let's move on to something a bit different. Right, all of our cuts are done, and we have a huge pile here. So I am going to sort this into 2 different piles. We'll have the end cuts and the middle cuts. So, while I'm doing that, I'm going to just sort of clean them up a bit, so I have little daggy bits hanging on them. I will pick those off, and well, they'll end up in my scrap drawer because that's where everything ends up. So yeah, we're just going to pile these up. It's just easier for me this way because the end pieces and the middle pieces get glued in different ways. So if I make 2 neat little piles, I can just start gluing as a sort of production line. Okay, we have our little piles here. Now, I'm going to sort through these a little bit. Most of these paper bags are the same paper bags. They're from the same store. It's where I get my groceries from. People often ask me if we don't pay for paper bags here. We do. If you get your groceries home delivered, they come in these paper bags. You don't have a choice. You pay for the bags and you get them delivered like this. So this is how I get my groceries. So I have many of these paper bags, and well, although I have paid for them, I have paid very little for them, and to me they are basically a free resource. So I use a lot of them because I get a lot of them. This is one way to use up the bottoms of them, which are probably one of the hardest parts to use. So yeah, I enjoy these little albums. I enjoy decorating them, making them is pretty quick, and they always end up looking good at the end. But anyway, like I say, most of these bags are the same, but there is a few different ones, so I'm just sort of sorting through them because of course the sizes are slightly different. Those ones I will put aside and make little booklets of their own out of them, you know, just so that the pages are sort of relatively even on most of them. But anyway, now we're going to glue. So this is how I glue the base pieces. The base pieces are not fully glued shut. They are pretty close to, but this end piece sort of seems to hang off a bit. So I am just going to glue those on either side so those pieces are held down. I don't want loose bits in the middle of my little books. I will go through and do all of those, and then I will move on to the side panels, and gluing those down is a little bit more involved. Okay, I finished up gluing all those middle pieces. Now I'm going to glue these edge pieces. So what I do is I take these sections that are sort of triangularly folded down, and I fold them up just to cover that logo that's there. Now I do that with both sides. I don't need to do, well, some of the bags do need it done on both sides to cover the logo completely. Most of them don't, but I would prefer to have a flat piece of paper on that side than a folded one anyway. So I will fold up both sides and glue them and press them down nicely to make sure they're well secured. And then, yeah, those are all prepped as well. So we'll just go through and do that bundle before we decide what we're going to do next. Okay, everything is glued and secured. I'm going to take these edge pieces now and make little booklets out of them. I am simply going to take 3 of them, fold them in half, fit them together and staple them in the middle. You can take these to your sewing machine and sew down them as well if you wish. I have done that previously. The staples is just quicker and easier because it means I don't have to transport them into the next room. But if your sewing machine is more handy than mine is, maybe that's the way you would want to go. So I'm going to do that with all of these. Now I have previously to this also done those middle pieces and made them into little booklets. I did exactly the same thing with those. I folded them in half, put 3 of them together and stapled them. I just did not show you that on camera, but it's exactly the same process. So unfortunate this stapler is long enough to fit into the middle of it. Yeah, if your stapler is not long enough to fit into the middle, then you might have to pull the arm of your stapler out. This one actually rotates, so I can do bigger pages with it from the other direction, but my old one didn't used to. I used to just fold it out and staple it into something soft and then bend the arms of the staples down. It's a bit more fiddly, but it can be done. I am fortunate now that I have this stapler and it is capable of doing all sorts of things. In case you are interested, I just purchased this on Temu. Yeah, it cost me all of about $5, and it's one of the better things that I have gone to the effort of buying, to be honest. The fact that it rotates and allows me to staple large books is really very handy. So if you're interested, go look for one on Temu. Okay, that's them. They're all done. I'll staple this last one and yeah, it's finished. I am not going to decorate one of these today. It's been a long day. So, yeah, you will see them. I've done many videos on decorating these little albums, and these ones will be no exception. You will end up seeing all of them eventually again as I decorate them to put into journals and or just for fun. So they're quite cute little albums. They take just about no effort to make, just time if you're going to make almost 50 of them, but I will put them all in a pile. You can see them all here, and yeah, hopefully you think about making some. For me, it's my favourite way to use up the base of paper bags, and you know, it's not always an easy thing to use up, so yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks for sticking around. I know it hasn't been particularly scintillating, but yeah, it's what I was doing at my desk today. So thanks for being here. I appreciate your company as always, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.